Instead of gaining the unconditional support of the free world, a few oppositionists and dissidents are obligated to persuade the rulers of the world.
We are on the front line. We believe that no people can fight on behalf of any other people. Every people have to fight their own battle for freedom. We will fight our battle. All what we ask you in Western democracies, in the established democracies, is to stop in the name of stability, in the name of continuity, to support the autocrats.
The plane was coming in. I noticed it a second before it hit the building. It looked like it was moving slowly, and it lined itself up to hit the building directly.
September 11, 2001 has become a crucial turning point for the United States and for the entire world. President Bush reasoned that the forceful establishment of truly democratic regimes is the only viable method able to save the world from Islamic terror.
Truth 9/11 was evidence of a much broader danger. An international movement of violent Islamic extremists that threatens free peoples everywhere. The extremist ambition is to build a totalitarian empire that spans all current and former Muslim lands, including parts of Europe. Their strategy to achieve that goal is to frighten the world into surrender through a ruthless campaign of terrorist murder.
In retaliation to the terrorist attacks of September 11th, the United States invaded Afghanistan and Iraq. George Bush was convinced that it was possible to export democracy, even if tanks and warplanes were needed to maintain it. However, the military victory didn't bring peace to the region. Iraq, for instance, is submerged in a civil war that no army in the world can stop. The victory of the Hamas movement over the national elections and the Palestinian autonomy has finally dispelled the illusion that the meaning of democracy in Arabic is not equivalent to the meaning of democracy in English or French. I appeal to all European countries, hurry to apologize before the Arab nation, because if you don't, you will be sorry for that. Our nation is progressing and gaining one victory after another. Don't leave black spots on the collective national memory, because your nation won't forgive you. Tomorrow our nation will sit on the throne of the whole world. This is not a fantasy, this is a fact. Tomorrow we will rule the world. The American plan for a peaceful settlement between Israel and the Palestinians, the so-called roadmap, came crashing down. Free Palestinian elections resulted in a civil war for them and new victims for the Israelis. Neither democracy nor dictatorship can succeed in establishing peace, not only in the Middle East, but in the European battlefield as well.
At the time of the attack of March 11 in Madrid, the objective of the terrorists is very clear, is to provoke a situation for change government, and they have had success because government changed for this situation. But this is just an exceptional situation. The general rule about the internal terrorism or the terrorists with Islamic roots is fighting. Another possibility is, for example, trying to establish dialogue, trying to establish different agreements, negotiation, or to maintain an attitude in favor of appeasement is a very serious mistake. With terrorism, only, in my view, is possible this policy consists in fighting and fighting and fighting.
Based on its own history, mankind seldom reaches the right conclusions. The Western world is still trying to conduct a dialogue on its own terms. The problem is, only one side obeys those terms. The collision that we witness today is not a clash of religions or civilizations. This is a conflict between two opposites, between two epochs. This is a clash of mentalities, one medieval and the other of the 21st century. This is a clash of civilization and fogey, of progress and primitive, of barbarity and rationality. This is a conflict between freedom and suppression, between democracy and dictatorship. This is a conflict between human rights on the one hand and their violation on the other. This is a clash between those who treat women as animals and those who treat them as human beings. This is not a conflict between civilizations. Civilizations don't clash, they compete between themselves. One of the principal differences between competing civilizations is the value each places on human life. On January 29, 2004, the world's attention was drawn to a small town on the Lebanese-Israeli border, Rosh Hanikra. The government of Israel had released 435 Palestinian prisoners and transferred 57 bodies of Lebanese terrorists to mediators. In exchange, Israel received the bodies of 3 Israeli soldiers and 1 living retired colonel of questionable reputation. In 2008, in exchange for the bodies of 2 abducted soldiers, Israel released 5 living terrorists. In addition, Israel transferred to Hezbollah the bodies of 197 militants who had been killed during the Second Lebanon War. Let us ask ourselves, who gained the supreme victory, the moral one? Whose principles are human and humane? There, where they meet with laurels of vicious killer, or there, where the morning candles are being lit for the memory of loved ones? The answer is clear and undoubted. Even the Muslim world should ponder, how great is the difference placed on the value of human life? In a civilization where the goal is war with infidels, the appearance of another suicide bomber is a mere matter of statistics. Jews had overcome their tragedy, Holocaust, and they made the whole world respect them without using terror. By means of their work and not by screams and tears. Most of the scientific discoveries of mankind in the 19th and 20th centuries were made by Jewish scientists. 15 million people, scattered all over the world, had united and won the fight for their rights, thanks to hard work and knowledge. We haven't seen a single Jew who blew himself up in a German restaurant, who would have destroyed a church, who would have protested by killing other people. Muslims totally destroyed 3 statues of Buddha in Afghanistan. However, we haven't seen a single Buddhist destroy a mosque, kill a Muslim, or burn an embassy. Only Muslims defend their religion by the means of setting churches on fire, killing innocent people, and destroying embassies. This path will resolve nothing. The Muslims should ask themselves what they can do for mankind before they demand respect for themselves.